What is an organization's greatest strength? It's the people. Good people who are on board with your culture and mission leads to success. So what can you do to retain your top talent? Studies show that employee retention falls into two distinctive timeframes. Activities that take place within the first 90 days, known as onboarding, are crucial in setting up a new employee for success. Following the first 90 days, ongoing development helps keep top talent engaged and involved. In this video, we'll focus on ongoing employee development. This stage continues to build on the principles established during the onboarding phase of employment. Companies with highly engaged employees outperform companies with disengaged employees by as much as 200%. Once an employee has been set up for success in the first 90 days on the job, employers must be diligent in order to keep their talent engaged and involved. For a moment, consider the cost of turnover. With the loss of just one worker, productivity drops, sales fall, current staff work longer hours, morale slips. To fill the position, you spend time screening and interviewing applicants. Once the position is filled, the new hire must be trained and brought up to speed. When you add it all up, replacing an entry-level employee can cost as much as 50% of their annual salary. Actively engaged employees are the lifeblood of a successful company. The best way to keep employees engaged is to provide opportunities for growth and development. Engaged employees are involved, enthusiastic, and committed to their work and to their workplace. They are actively involved in ensuring the company's success. 26% of the most highly skilled and motivated workforce will change jobs this year. Workers today want more from their employers. They seek meaningful work and expect their employer to make work more rewarding. In part one of this video series, we focused on Prestige Products International, a small company of around 25 employees. Prestige is in the business of fulfillment, supplying promotional items like logoed pins, notepads, and apparel. Prestige is recognized as an industry leader in the best retention practices with structured onboarding and ongoing development programs.
That's me, Dan. I'm the line supervisor in the warehouse. 90 days ago, we hired Brian as our new pick and pack employee. So far, he's done a great job. For the most part, he's pretty much up to speed with Chad and Sarah, our more experienced pick and packers. I've worked with Brian to master the packing part of the job, as well as our shipping label system. Marcus, his peer coach, has been a huge help getting Brian used to the way the warehouse and the business as a whole operates.
So far, everyone here has been patient and helpful. Dan and Marcus are great. They both have lots of experience, so when they tell me what's worked for them and what hasn't, it's really helped me.
On the administrative side of the business, another new hire has just passed her 90-day milestone.
I'm the receptionist at Prestige. I feel pretty confident in the majority of my job duties, but there are still times when I'm not quite sure about some of my tasks.
We're very pleased with Michelle. As her supervisor, I've received a lot of positive feedback about her. She does a great job of handling the phones and being the face of Prestige to all of our visitors. And now it's time to take her to the next level.
An employer has to build an action plan to identify and define goals in order to keep an employee engaged. Leaders who open the doors of opportunity for their employees fast-track their chance of development and in turn sustain high levels of motivation.
Michelle, a while back when we had your 90-day review, you told me that you were interested in moving into sales someday. Is that still part of your plan?
Yes, that's right.
Great, well, I've got good news. I've begun to develop an action plan to help you gain experience relevant to sales.
That is great. What do we do first?
Well, I've put together a plan I'd like to go over with you. First thing, we need to talk about the steps and the milestones that we'll use to measure your progress.
Thanks so much. I'm looking forward to learning more about sales here at Prestige.
You're welcome. Well, once we agree on an action plan, I'll arrange with somebody from the sales team to have you shadow them on a few sales calls. How does that sound?
That sounds wonderful. That'll help me to get an idea of the day-to-day responsibilities of a sales rep. I can't wait to get started.
Super. Well, I know everyone learns at their own pace, so let's agree to check in quarterly to see how you're progressing with the plan. It could take 6 months or 2 years, and a lot will depend on the need for a new salesperson.
Of course, I wasn't expecting anything to happen overnight.
Great. Okay, let's take a look at the first step in the plan.
Back in the warehouse, Dan has created an action plan to help Brian reach his career goals.
Working in the warehouse has been great for now. It's really given me an idea of how the business operates and all the different jobs that help make this place run.
Yes, you really do need to know the big picture first. It gives you a good idea of where you might like to go from here with the company. So are you still on board for the opportunity we discussed in your 90-day review?
Sure, I'd love to work in safety and quality control, like making sure the equipment is well maintained and safe and that the products are all in good shape.
I think that's a realistic goal. I've already started to put together a long-range action plan. It's going to take a little time to get the plan in motion because I need to get a few other people in the company involved. Get their input as to the best way to help you gain the experience necessary to work towards your goal.
Great! Sounds like the wheels are in motion. So just let me know what I need to do next.
76% of employees want opportunities for career growth.
Brian, when you mentioned that you're interested in safety as a career path, it gave me a great idea. We have an opening for what we like to call our first responders.
Well, that sounds cool. What do they do?
First responders are people trained in CPR. They're trained to use the AED, you know, the emergency defibrillator, and are also trained in first aid too.
Sign me up. Now, are there any training classes I should take?
Yes, I'll look for a class schedule, day and times, and we'll find something that works for you.
It's going to be great to be certified in CPR and the defibrillator. The company's going to pay for my classes with the Red Cross and even pay me for the hours I'm in class. So if there's ever an emergency in the warehouse, I'll be ready to handle it.
Employees today desire more than a paycheck. Training that develops a person toward career or personal goals leads to greater employee satisfaction. A more satisfied employee is more likely to be a more productive team member and stay with the company longer.
Michelle, I know you've taken some business classes at the community college, so I'd like to talk to you about our tuition reimbursement program here at Prestige.
Yes, I remember Karen in HR mentioned something about that.
It's a really good deal. Let me tell you how it works. We'll reimburse you 50% of tuition and fees for approved classes.
Wow, 50%? That'll be a huge help.
Good. Now, you have to take classes that are geared toward a position you might achieve here at the company, and you have to maintain at least a C average.
I'm excited. There are a couple of online business classes that I would really like to take, so next semester, I'm going back to school.
Okay, you pick out the classes you'd like to take, and I'll make sure to get them approved before you actually enroll. Sound good?
Yes, that's great. Thanks.
54% of employers offer undergraduate tuition assistance.
As we move forward, we found that another way to keep our employees engaged is to present them with new opportunities and challenge them to contribute new ideas. A great example, about a month ago in a team meeting, I challenged everyone to come up with one way to make our workflow better.
I've noticed that the items we pick 75% of the time are scattered all throughout the warehouse. So I thought it'd be a good idea if we grouped all the most ordered items closer together. It seems like it would save us a lot more time.
That's why we need to get a fresh perspective on things, especially from our new hires. It'll help us break out of the habit of doing things the same old way.
Michelle has really become a valuable member of the Prestige team. She jumped right in when I asked her to join me on the social committee, and she's come up with a lot of great ideas for our office celebrations. So I asked her if she had any ideas for anything else here at the company. And of course, Michelle did not disappoint.
When Sharon asked me if I had any other ideas for the company, it really made me feel like part of the team. So I started to think about ideas that could benefit everyone here at Prestige. Then it hit me. What if we started a friendly fitness competition to help jumpstart the new wellness program? So I did some research and presented my ideas to Sharon.
I'm impressed with the amount of thought and time that you put into developing this. In a couple of weeks, I'd like you to share your ideas for the competition at the next staff meeting. See what kind of feedback you get.
I can't wait. Normally, I would be pretty nervous getting up and speaking in front of a group, but since everyone here has made me feel so welcome, I really don't feel intimidated at all.
Engaged employees are 38% more likely to have above average productivity.
Another key element to keep our employees engaged is ongoing follow-up. I schedule regular one-on-one meetings with all of my people to discuss their development progress. It's important to see if we're still on track with helping them reach their goals. Sometimes goals change. For one reason or another, an employee may decide that what we set our sights on 3 months ago may not be right for them today. So it's important to let our employees know that it's okay to reevaluate the plan and make changes.
It's important to find ways to challenge employees, not in a confrontational way, of course. For instance, from time to time, Michelle is going to have to deal with an unhappy customer. That's just part of doing business. To help her prepare, I'll set up a role play over the phone.
It's actually kind of fun. Sharon will have someone from the office call my extension and pretend to be a customer who needs help urgently. Then it's my job to find a solution. It really helps me prepare for any situation I might face.
Another important part of ongoing follow-up is to keep employees involved with their peer coaches.
I meet with Brian every week or so. I like to keep it pretty informal. Just spend around 15 to 20 minutes, try to show him something new in the warehouse that's not already part of his job. Ask him what's working for him and what's not.
I like meeting with Dan and Marcus. I like knowing how things work at Prestige because it helps me understand how what I do fits with the overall operation. And with Dan, he seems really interested in my input. So if there's something bothering me, I trust that it'll be given consideration. It's an open, collaborative company.
Employees who are highly engaged receive feedback from a supervisor at least once a week. One of the key elements in keeping employees engaged is to reward their accomplishments and recognize their milestones. Values-based rewards go beyond typical years of service rewards to focus on recognizing employee innovation, creativity, and leadership.
We're getting ready for a celebration. Today we're having an employee recognition party, and one of the people we're honoring also helped organize the party, Michelle.
Apparently, management really liked my idea for the fitness competition, so I got to help put together a party for a few employees, including myself, who are being recognized today.
We had a celebration today. My idea about reorganizing the pickers area was obviously a hit because they gave me the Bright Idea Award, and there was a nice little article in the company newsletter.
We'll do something a little special for Brian and the rest of the people in the warehouse. I'll bring in breakfast and coffee for everyone on Friday.
The employees honored today get a prepaid debit card that they can spend like cash on anything they'd like. Also, their names and photos are posted in the break room.
77% of employees say they would work harder if they felt recognized.
I'm glad Brian was recognized for his hard work, but that doesn't mean I can stop working with him to keep his career with Prestige moving forward.
If I want to keep Michelle, and I do, I need to continue to find ways for her to develop and grow with the company.
In the months that follow, the supervisors at Prestige continue to work on development strategies for their employees.
Hard to believe that Michelle's been with us for a year. It seems like just yesterday that she came to work for our company.
That was one quick year. Let's see. The fitness competition was a success. More than half the company participated. And for me, I got back on track with my education and finished a semester of business classes at the community college.
We couldn't be more pleased with Michelle. We've been able to get her out in the field on a few calls with members of the sales team, so she has an idea of what that's like. I would not be at all surprised to see her train her replacement at the reception desk before you know it.
Well, it's been a good year for Brian too. His idea to reconfigure the stock area is already paying off. We're getting more orders pulled in less time, and he passed all of his first aid courses. So now, we have a certified first responder in the warehouse.
Every business is unique. The key to a successful retention strategy is to find the best way to use your company's resources to keep employees engaged. To retain top talent, employees must continue to be presented with opportunities to learn and develop. Employees are constantly searching for ways to improve their skills and remain relevant. It's your mission to help them reach their goals, which in turn will help achieve yours.